And
Buddy
I have
still here?
started
Can he back that up?
I have started the
Yeah.
Aftergame chat.
Where'd Buddy
Buddy's
go?
not here anymore. He said he'd BRB, and then
Died.
he didn't come
He
back,
left us
and so
forever.
did Gary.
I guess he just didn't like us that much. I see how it is.
Yeah.
Y'all
I
didn't
enjoyed
notice
that
though, so I
game.
guess it really wasn't that important.
Yeah. I will say I enjoyed that encounter.
It was really fun. I
That was
loved
a
it.
good game.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you got the post stream chat up.
I do have the post stream chat up.
Would you like to direct people over to it?
Well, if you would like to go over to the post stream, everybody, there is a it's going on around over at Summoners Network, youtube.com/Summoners Network. I don't have a link. I'm gonna go grab one.
I
It's not
imagine
even
that
posted in the chat.
others will be putting the links into the various chats here in a second.
Thank you both, Emerald and Finn.
Oh, thanks, Finn.
You
We're
guys
gonna
are
do the
Hell
post.
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do the post.
going
We're
to
gonna
post. We're going to
I'm,
post.
I'm gonna post.
We're
gonna do the post.
Post, dude.
I'm gonna post, dude.
And I brought up I've brought up on the post stream this time because I wanted to see if you wanted to look at it, Crow. But this is how I just kind of look at the Fantasy Ground stuff.
Okay. I'm going to end my stream before I look at it. We'll see you guys over there, or we won't. If we don't, see you guys tomorrow on Izzy and my Sunday gaming streams. We're probably gonna play more Dream Daddy, I imagine.
Yeah.
Oh God, I still want to play that.
And if we don't see you then, see you next time we stream, or at least next week. Same
Next
Nat19 time, same Nat19 place. No matter how many times I say that, it will never be as cool.
It's not gonna it's not gonna stick.
Bye-bye.
It will never.
Mwah.
Okay.
It will
and
never
we're
be
out.
as cool as what?
I want it to be.
I think
You want to be Batman.
you could have
cool,
just
don't
ended
you?
it as "it will never be cool," and that would have been appropriate.
But he wants it to be cooler
No.
than it will be.
Okay, that makes sense.
I eat too much.
Okay.
Well, maybe
so
you
what
shouldn't
is
have made
it you
so
wanted
much
me to
fucking
look at?
bread.
Well, I mean, I wanted to show you because
Well,
I
that's
didn't
breakfast
know
for the next couple days.
I didn't know if you like knew how like it looks on this side or not. But whenever you roll the dice and things like that, whenever it comes through, it's like it's like really like shadowy stuff over here. And like you can also go over here because this is something I wanted to show off that I found out the other day. If you go over here to the images and maps thing, we can actually, because Buddy had mentioned earlier he didn't have the map, you can actually go down and find all the different maps that you've put in here, and we can easily just bring it all back up, which is something that I wanted to say out loud, but I didn't know how to actually bring it up. But yeah,
I hate myself for saying this. Could you repeat a bunch of that? Something just distracted me hardcore.
no, I just wanted to show that the sides here. I didn't know if you actually knew this because you're the GM. You don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. But anytime anyone asks for a map or anything, I figured this out last game. The images and maps things have everything you've ever put up, like literally everything. I can find cat pictures.
Oh, cool. So you guys
Great.
can.
So it's like
I knew it had
really
my
easy.
stuff, I
I'm gonna
didn't
bring
know
up
it
Cat
shared with
4.
you.
There we go. There's Cat 4.
I mean, you brought it up, but I can't see it.
Well,
You
yeah,
have to
I know, but
right-click
people
on it
who
and
were
show.
asking for maps, because Buddy had asked for a map today, and I didn't know how to explain it without showing it, so I wanted to just kind of say, like, we can still do that to get the maps if we need to, instead of you bringing them out to everybody again. But yeah, I wanted to show that part of Fantasy Grounds off because I didn't know if you knew about it or not.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's hard for me to figure out what works on your end and what's like different on my end.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get out of there now.
Goodbye.
I also
Fantasy
have a
Grounds.
full pan of regular curry as well. I want to make 6
And I will be
curry
right
buns.
back, but I will be back.
Okay. How do I end? I keep forgetting how to end Fantasy Grounds.
Hey, a new guy!
Well,
I just
hit the
excited
X
it.
button.
Ryuji!
Thanks a lot, Marcus Reigns, for the sub. But yeah, guys, this was interesting. Like we had
Yeah.
a game
It was
where
a good game.
I thought I was gonna die, and then Carrie almost died. And the one to save us all was we had Ian come up with the great assist over at the tree and just went beep. Just come over with like the white touch, like, what are you guys doing?
Add a single
Touches it.
semicolon to the spell.
Didn't
Not
Finn
gonna lie,
get a
that's
kill
kinda-
as well?
He did.
Fuck yeah, man.
You destroyed everyone with that starfall. Like everything went down with that starfall. That damage was insane.
Oh, I'm glad it worked out. Like, all of them failed it. They're all just knocked to the ground and blinded. Like, Jesus.
It didn't
I'm not
turn
gonna lie,
out.
I'm a little
It didn't turn out to affect the. It didn't turn out to affect the guardian, the shield guardian, but it did pretty much blind the biggest damage dealer of the entire group with that freaking dude who could just nonchalantly do 19 damage to the entire party.
Yeah, that was a bit crazy.
You guys,
Yeah,
you guys might not have felt that as much as I did, but again, I have at max 52 health, and I went in there with like 40 something, like maybe like 40 health.
Didn't you go in with? I thought you went in with like 16 or whatever.
Oh, I was
she
able
healed
to heal.
herself up.
I was able to cast Cure Wounds before I went in, and it gave me a grand total of 14 health back. So that was great.
Oh shit.
I went into that with like a little bit over half my health. But as soon as I saw that everybody was lining up because that shield guardian jumped onto the table, I'm like, I gotta go forward and just Kamehameha these guys. It's what I'm known for.
It is your thing.
And
It's
I'm
I am
good.
fine
sad
for it.
that Alqualm didn't get any more players for his Pathfinder game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Alquam's gonna have to wait. He might not get
Yeah.
anybody. I don't think he'd even get Ian and Isla anymore since they don't have the marks, do they?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on Gael's turn though. He's been in the bathroom a very long.
Venom thieves? Ryuji!
Hey, Rika-chan, thank you very much for the sub.
And I feel like if you had to pick between D&D and Pathfinder, Alquam with all his ridiculous rules would go Pathfinder.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
I've never
Pathfinder,
actually
but
played.
D&D's
I've never
a
actually
lot
played a game
more
of Pathfinder.
fluid. Pathfinder has micromanaged rules for every possible situation.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like D&D, a lot of it's left up to the DM, or it's very cut and dry.
Mm.
Pathfinder movement has like 3 different phases.
Oh God.
Oh god. That sounds like too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
Sounds-
it's for
sounds a
people who
little
got
much.
mad that D&D 3.5 was too liberal.
Ooh.
Like people who like that and like Pathfinder are just like, what the hell is this mess with 5e? What do you mean passing something's a free action?
Man,
There's a table for
I
the
really almost didn't, and I kind of wish I didn't, to be honest, drink that potion that Isla passed to me, because after I drank it, I didn't take any more damage. It kind of did, I should have just hacked, honestly.
Yeah, but you could.
That's hindsight, though. I didn't want to die.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be destroyed. And I was thinking about, because again, if I wouldn't have healed that turn, I would have just cast lightning. But now that I think about it, like all of those guys were using lightning. Like I wonder if I would have just like healed them or just nullified all the damage if I would have did a 9th level lightning bolt. Who knows?
Yeah.
Rika's
Never have to
asking
find out.
where Auntie Carrie is. Carrie is on mute right now. I do not know where Auntie Carrie is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Luckily, she didn't die though. Like, luckily, I just rushed in like, no, not another person, dragons.
I'm not gonna lie, if she had, and it was because of Buddy,
Yeah.
that would have been the funniest thing.
Carrie's not safe from Buddy, even in Nat19.
Oh my God, Ian, do you think that would work? Guido in the chat's asking if I should ask Ian or Isla for bombs and then give those bombs to Finn.
Oh my god, yeah. Get like a little get like a little satchel for Finn and have him drop bombs.
That
God,
would be
they messed
awesome.
up.
Unless he
'Cause
like
apparently-
accidentally held onto it for
Carpet
too
bomb
long.
the anime.
Apparently I can cast touch spells through Finn.
What?
Apparently
Yeah,
I
you
can. Like,
can.
apparently familiars you can cast touch spells through your familiar.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Wow.
I don't know how that works. I don't know if that happens during Finn's turn or during my turn. But like giving him like flame hands or whatever it's called, and like having him go in and touch somebody sounds like a great thing to do.
Wait, flame hands is a touch thing?
I think it is. Flaming hands or like other spells, cure wounds.
There's like
I
I think there's like
spell.
flame touch or something.
More
That is- there's a fire one that's touch based.
I just know that when we were playing DCC, I had flaming hands and it wasn't touch based.
I know there's some sort of fiery touch based spell. I can't remember what.
Yeah, I
it's
think
called,
I think it's literally just called like flame touch or something like that.
Because if I could have had my fucking owl slash people with flaming claws, I totally would have done it.
Oh, burning hands. That's what it's called.
Burning hands. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just sounds like it'd be really
Also,
fun.
produce flame is another one.
Ooh. It just sounds like it'd be really fun. It's just like all of a sudden there's just an owl, and it's like instead of like, hey, distract him or hey, steal the amulet, it's hey, burn him alive.
I still think carpet bombing.
I
I had to make a little
idea of
pouch for him. I had
having
to make a little
bombs.
pouch for Owl for Finn to carpet bomb everybody. And that's only
So, like,
assuming Ian and Isla's bombs work for other people.
It's not like he can reach into it.
He
I'm
just
not
he just
sure. I think bombs have to be used on the turn they're made, so he might not be able to do that.
I'll just have him curry items over to people. It's just like Ian wants to give a potion to somebody, just Finn goes over, takes potion, takes over to Gael.
Just have him save his turn every round until something like that happens. It's not a bad way to use a familiar.
Apparently, like an owl, like whenever I was looking up like familiars, as far as like just regular familiars you can get, not like animal companions or like special familiars that you can get for certain like circles and stuff of magecraft. Apparently, like owl is one of the high tier minions to get because of that that whole touch spell thing.
Yeah,
Because they can fly in without provoking any opportunity, use a touch spell and fly out.
Fuck.
And it's freaking crazy.
God, no, there's something small in this fridge. Now I gotta clean up from cooking. Least favorite part of the experience.
I actually gotta head out, so I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, later.
See you next week, I guess.
Later. See you.
But yeah, it's just so crazy. Like apparently all the things that I could do with Finn that I haven't done yet because I was afraid of losing him. Now that she knows Finn can come right back, you saw her. She's just like, no, get that amulet. Go drown that guy. But yeah, that was so. No, you want to know what the best like thing that I realized upon watching all of our fighting right here? Ian, whenever you used your combination thing with when you combine two of your extracts,
Yeah,
that was so freaking cool. I didn't know you could do that.
I keep forgetting half of the shit that the alchemist
So
can
couldn't
do.
you? Like,
Alchemists are really cool.
before you were kind of finagling the whole like turning humongously giant by drinking the engorge and then drinking the mutagen. Could you actually just combine those two and then drink?
I don't think it would apply to that because I can combine extracts, but it doesn't apply to the mutagen.
Mm.
So I mean, I could probably just do the same thing I did before, just drink enlarge and then drink a mutagen.
What if you combine two enlarges together?
I think I would have to ask Logan if he would let me do that. 'Cause that's like doubling my size 3 times.
You would literally turn into an elder dragon or something.
Kaiju fight.
Kaiju Ian.
Fucking fight Kieran on the day of.
You would fight Kieran like face to face, fist to fist.
like let's say that Ian is like fucking 6 feet tall. First one becomes 12 feet tall. Second one, 24 feet tall. Third one is now 48 feet tall.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I see anyone do the enlarged self potion or ability, I just picture like their voice being like you know, like the over generic, like old cartoon voice. No, I have diabetes.
I was imagining like, you know, like the jolly giant up in the top, like fee fi fo fum, like everything just got really deep and like echoey.
Yeah.
And then just like, I'm like, yeah, you drink all that and Guido just like, and then with people on your back spewing lightning, just Stonewalker on one shoulder, Isla on the other shoulder, she's just throwing bombs, I'm just casting lightning.
You just turn Ian into a weapons platform or
a living tank. We just roll into this war with the Kieran acolytes like that.
You're just like walking in, lay energy bolt.
Unleash the Kraken!
Our main import is bread. Our main export is death.
No! You could grow so big, we could put the blanket fort on you and ride you into battle.
Oh my fucking god.
You could be the living platform of the blanket fort.
Like the elephants from War of the...
God, if he actually let me do that, it'd be goddamn ridiculous.
Finn, you're telling Rika my thing? I think, didn't we all, wasn't Rika the one we were all supposed to give the things to? The, descriptions to?
Is that who was finished there?
I'm gonna go back and look. Yeah, Rika's asking, Rika said she was asking for all of, she should have all of the things for Stonewalker at that point, I think. So yeah. She said, yep, okay, cool.
Does that apply to everybody or just the...
I don't know.
I'm pretty
sure it applied to everybody. I have no idea. I can't speak for Rika. Like Rika can bring that up. I have no idea.
Oh no, that's what I was asking. I was going to ask Crow.
Rika said, "Yes, I just checked. I have it. Nice." And she said, "Everybody gets it.
Everybody.
Everybody.
You get an image. You get an image. You get 2 images." Pointing at Doc.
But yes, on that note, though, thank you very much, Rika, for offering to do that. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. It's really cool.
It's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait to see them.
Me too.
You're gonna have to ask Hawk later on, Rika, to have him send you some curry biscuits or whatever he made, his curry breads, as payment.
It was made curry buns, but I used the dough that I would normally use for croissants.
Oh,
it was
okay.
more pliable and it worked really well.
That actually
This
sounds
will be
really
my
good,
breakfast
though.
for the next couple days.
Croissant bread's pretty good though.
Dinner rolls, like that, the type of dough I would use for that. And it just soaked up the curry.
I still want to figure out some way to use Martin's gun and actually have it be worth something.
Because it was kind of weak.
I mean, it's a gun, but like most
in a D&D game.
I'm guessing most people, like, I mean, if you look at like Fate Zero as like a kind of show of it, like some mages out there might have some defenses against it, against especially regular bullets and things like that. So like I kind of really want to figure out some way to, again, like mess around with that gun and try to get it to actually work
to be useful
for me as a character. Because first off, it's metal, so I don't have any proficiency with it. I just kind of have it, unfortunately.
Could you possibly make it into something you could channel like energy, like shoot brimstone or something out of it?
I would
or
really,
lay energy.
I'd really like to figure out if I could do something like that. Like the biggest thing that keeps coming to mind is again Ian with your elemental weapon thing that you can put on other people.
I could do that, yeah.
I mean, like,
I think a lot
even if we did that though, like, I mean, would it even really be worth like spending an action for elemental weapon and then spending my action to shoot them? Like, how much damage could we expect from something like that? You know?
I think gives you an extra D4 of that element.
Yeah, so like it doesn't really seem like, because the gun itself I don't think is even that great. But it still feels like, I have Martin's gun, I should use it.
You're just gonna collect something from like every person party and be the only.
Dude, I want to. I feel so bad for not having anything from Eric.
Yeah, it happens.
Like,
honestly, Eric didn't have any. Like, whenever we got magic items, I usually.
I think
most
like
of the stuff it wouldn't really fit his personality to use.
yeah, the biggest thing that you had gotten, or that you had used that she took interest in again was you throwing out your black keys. So like, I could say like, if she lives through all of this, like she could just like, she found like a shard of a black key that she keeps because like this was Eric's.
I think the black keys are just basically mana. They're just items made from pure mana.
Grim keeps telling me I should go for a gunslinger, but it's like I'm a druid, man. I won't have any proficiencies with metal weapons or anything of the sort. So I'm not gonna class out to a gunslinger just because I have a gun.
I mean, you could. Oh yeah, you're not the one to multi-class into that mess.
I mean, it just seems like I would be switching out a casting class for a non-casting class, and yeah, I could get the gun to go pretty decently at that point, but it would make my spellcasting class kind of not get stronger and stronger as things goes on, so like I'd be kind of middle of the road with everything.
I mean, I guess it goes to like DM. I remember I was in the game with someone, and one of the players, even though they didn't, they weren't really built to be a ranger, use ranged weapons, they let her basically find someone who was an expert on guns who gave her a feat in proficiency through training her.
Oh. Well, the biggest thing I'm saying with like no proficiencies is that none of my druid abilities like shillelagh or anything of that nature that I have affects metal weapons.
I gotcha.
Like that's the biggest thing. Like I can't like there's no crossing with that kind of a class. Like there's no synergies you can expect. Whenever you try to cross class into something else, at least in my experience with D&D, you try to find something that goes with the class that you already have. That way you make yourself stronger instead of just giving yourself more things, I'm
at the point where I can multi-class my barbarian. I really can't decide what I want.
Depending on the type of barbarian you have, like you could definitely go for something like either. I've actually seen barbarian rangers work really well. Yeah. Like they choose like a favorite. They can choose like a favorite enemy. They get like all these really cool tracking abilities that work through rage and things like that. Like I've seen a bunch of like really good barbarian rangers.
I was thinking about going with Battlemaster's Fighter.
Fighter's pretty good.
Or something maybe with monks, because my barbarian's built weird. I probably should have built him focusing more on other things. But I do have stuff where I could make a decent monk. Or just keep putting points in the barbarian stat.
I'm actually kind of interested, and since we have both Aaron and Ian here, I actually want to know because I have my own thoughts for what I want to kind of go into with my character. Like Ian, like you're the one that's been talking more. I don't know if Aaron's still here, but do you have any ideas as to like what in higher levels of your alchemist, like what you want to do in like a level or two?
I'm not totally sure. I know at like I think level 10 or something like above there, I get like permanent mutations and things like that.
Permanent mutations?
Yeah, like I could grow like a tentacle or the ability to just not have to breathe.
Oh, that's that's really good.
I'd go for the tentacle personally, but it's your choice.
Ian just turns into flat out Cthulhu.
I think one of them makes it so that like my senses get like super heightened, so I just have advantage on like perception rolls and things like that.
Oh wow. That's pretty awesome, actually. Like, I didn't think permanent whenever I think of like a wizard, because again, I've never seen really alchemists. Whenever I think of a wizard, I don't think like permanent like additions to make them not even kind of even human,
Yeah, let me see if I can find the
That's
list here.
crazy. That's awesome, though.
Yeah,
Right
can't
back.
wait for that to come up. It's gonna get weird.
It's just like we just go to sleep one day, we level up, we all wake up, I walk by like, hey, yeah, you have a tentacle coming out of you.
God. Here we go. Yeah, level 11, get a permanent mutation.
Wow.
The repeated use of mutagens and the side effects from extracts cause your body to undergo a permanent transformation. Choose one of the options below.
Oh god.
And then at 17th level, I get another mutation.
So you can have 2 separate mutations onto this.
Yeah, so it's like can hold your breath indefinitely. You can get an extra limb, keen senses, a prehensile tail or tongue, horns, suckers, so that you can kind of climb on walls at normal movement speed. Become immune to poison, vestigial wings that can make you glide a little bit, or webbed extremities in case you want to swim at 60 feet per round.
That's crazy, dude. Because I know at fifth level, I'm gonna get access to a bunch of really cool lay spells, at 5th level spells. I mean, and one of them in particular is actually called Amplify Layfield, which turns it makes it to where any weak ley lines, like the one we were on just now, turns into strong ley lines. Any strong ley lines turn into titanic ley lines. And if there's no ley line whatsoever, I can treat it as having a weak ley line.
Oh, Jesus.
So I can just, like, go about doing all of my ley line spells and all the extra effects that go onto them for no reason. Like, oh, there's not even a ley line here. I don't care. I'm just gonna add ley effects to it anyway.
That's pretty sweet.
Aaron, if you're here, do you have any ideas of what you're gonna do in the next couple levels? If you're not here, that's fine.
Oh, shoot. I do have to run to my next D&D game with Buddy.
Oh, okay, yeah, you go do that, dude.
I will talk to you guys later.
Later.
Oh boy.
Bye.
Does it doesn't do anything to a Titanic ley line? It doesn't look like it does. Like, let me read the effect. It's a 1 action. Concentration up to 10 minutes. Up to 10 minutes is pretty good. You create a faintly shimmering field of charged energy around yourself. Within that area, the intensity of ley lines you're able to draw from increases from blah 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 blah. If no ley lines are there to draw on, you can do it. No, it doesn't seem to do anything to Titanic, so it's kind of a wasted spell slot at Titanic. But as a druid, I'm not like limiting myself to like only a couple of spells. At that point, I would just cast like Ley Energy Bolt as a 5th level spell or something, you know? Like it's not going to take away anything from me at that point. And there's other level 5 ley spells too: Energy Absorption, Lesser Ley Pulse, and Ley Leech. Let's go look at those. Energy Absorption on this. Let's see here. If the page will load. Energy Absorption. For the duration, a willing creature you touch has resistance to acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, and thunder damage. And it says and? Wait, that's not or? It just says and.
Really?
They have resistance to acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, and thunder damage. That's and. That's not an or. That's not an or there.
What did I just come
Wow.
back to?
What was that?
What did I just come back to?
I'm looking up my 5th level spells.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is called Energy Absorption. And it says, for the duration, a willing creature you touch has resistance to acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, and thunder damage. Not or thunder damage. You don't pick one.
It's all.
It's all. That is crazy. And it's a touch spell, so I can cast it through Finn. That is crazy.
Then OP, please nerf.
And apparently you can cast it on okay, if the spell is used against an unwilling creature, you must make a melee spell attack. If it hits the duration. Why would you cast it on something unwilling? Why would you give buffs to something unwilling to have them?
What's it say?
It doesn't
Does it hurt them?
No. They have to make a saving throw against getting buffed?
Oh.
What? That's crazy. But yeah, I was asking Izzy before he left, and I was asking Aaron, I didn't know if he was still here, what they had thought about, like, what they're going to be hoping to do in, like, the next, like, level or two. Like, something that they could do that they're hoping to go up into. And since I'm a druid, you know, I have access to 4 new spells, or 4 new lay spells at that point.
Okay, so what can they do as they level?
Ian was telling us something about how at 11th level, he's going to be getting a permanent mutation.
Yeah, they both do.
So that's crazy.
They get like horns, gills, that kind of thing. They can choose what they want, but it just like gives them things like the ability to breathe underwater, swim faster, gives them like a vestigial tail or tongue that they can retract that can be used to like manipulate things if it was a hand. Stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Then I asked Aaron, but I don't think Aaron's there. So another spell I get is called Lesser Lay Pulse. Let's look at that one. You set up lay energy, vibrations, 10-foot cube within range. Name a type of damage. Oh. Each creature in the area must take wisdom saving throw or lose resistance. Oh, that's pretty cool. I have an AoE that gets rid of people's resistances. So like, I'm just going to assume, and you don't have to tell me yes or no to this, Crow, but I'm gonna assume the people who were using lightning against us today were probably resistant to lightning.
Correct.
So if I would have used this spell, anything within the range of the spell loses resistances to something I call, such as lightning. That's pretty good. It's not like the greatest 5th level spell I've seen.
Make the lightning guys like not immune to lightning, so when you bring out lightning, they're like, hit me.
What is this? Go ahead and hit me. That's crazy. And the final spell that I get at 5th level is Lay Leech. Let's look at this one. I was looking at the first one, which was Amplify Leyline, or Amplify Layfield, Crow, and that basically turns weak ley lines into strong ley lines, strong ley lines into Titanic ley lines. It doesn't do anything to Titanic, which sucks. But it makes it to where even if there's no ley line around, I can cast my spells as if there's a weak ley line around.
Okay.
That's actually pretty cool. But Lay Leech. Oh, here we go. You channel destructive ley energy through your touch. Make a melee spell attack, so I can cast this through Finn, against a creature within your reach. The target takes 8d10 necrotic damage. What?
Well, that sounds a bit excessive.
And must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or have disadvantage on attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. It has no effect against constructs or undead. What was that? What was any of that was just said? What? That's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's a maximum of 80. It's a maximum of 80 damage, but still, that's 80 damage. Like, more likely I'll do like around like 40, like half of that.
I apologize if I seem kind of distracted.
No, that's fine. Anything good distracting or bad distracting? Is it?
It's whatever. It's just stuff.
Stuff and things.
Yeah. Nothing worth getting anyone worked up about.
And at 10th level, I get.
I hope everything works out then.
I can bind myself to a weak or strong ley lines. And in addition, you add your proficiency bonus. Oh, that's pretty good. At 10th level, I can actually start doing, trying to connect the ley lines a little bit better, because I add my proficiency bonus to the ability check for tapping into a ley line for power. That's pretty good.
Cool. It's. I want to talk about things that we've talked about before, but they're kind of secret, so I can't talk about them. It's like, yeah, these are cool 11th level things that you.
I mean, I don't have any 11th level things. I only have 10th level things.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I'm not the one stopping you from saying anything. You're the one stopping you from saying anything.
That's true.
I
guess the overarching point is like the pre-campaign ends at like you guys will be transitioning into 11th level. Like this, the final throws this will be at 10th level. So it's like whether or not you guys choose to stick to the same characters or not. I assume that the bulk of you, like there's obviously like Ian and Isla are gonna stick around because of the obviously established connections to the Holy Grail War and whatnot. But like Stone Gael,
He's
probably
gonna
not.
be gone after this.
And Stonewalker is kind of up to Stonewalker in the moment. But like Stonewalker's overall arc is essentially going to conclude if things with Broodhoof are conclusive.
Yeah.
So, like, will Stonewalker stay around is a very valid question because it would be, revolve around if there's something to keep Stonewalker around.
Sasuke.
Well,
no, I'm gonna meet Sasuke in New York in between.
Why would Sasuke like?
No,
why would that keep him around?
She keeps complaining about Sasuke.
I'm just imagining too, like, again, we talked about this the other day, Crow, but just after everything and like the years between the wars, just like it was just like he goes to New York for whatever nefarious deeds you're having him do there, and it's just like they just share a pizza and go their separate ways.
Oh, just living. He just goes there to live.
They just
Just
share
nice little flat in Brooklyn, just relaxing.
Yeah, this is Marcus asking that. Yeah, this is still the pre-campaign, right?
Yeah,
this is still pre-Grail War. Like, this is still pre-campaign, even though it's not
everything.
It's not important, of course.
No, but it's very much like a very large establishing event. I guess
think
in the
Rika's
same sense
also
that Zero's
asking you
a
for
prequel.
Descriptions for certain NPCs.
Yeah, I will get back to that, Rika. I'm sorry.
She
I'm
said,
sorry
"Don't
it's
ignore
taking
your
so long.
daughter" at one point.
But yeah, like the stuff is like, Sasuke's not gonna hang out around the group, so if Stonewalker like follows Sasuke, which she won't, but if she did, she wouldn't end up where Ian and Isla are going.
Yeah,
But,
I'm not gonna
matter.
Again, unless Sasuke does something extremely like just out of everything, like against her or Ian, Isla, or Gael, like she's not gonna go after him. Like, he killed that one guy, and she can't do anything about it, and he's technically saved them from deadness. So it's like, even if she saw him right now, she wouldn't go after him and be like, "I want to fight you," because she knows that, first off, this guy's going to destroy her. But second off, it's like, she's kind of in debt to him. She knows what would have happened if he hadn't have showed up, because of the way that you had the fate card revealed.
Yeah.
Like, she knows that Duncan would be dead, or she would be dead, if it wasn't for Sasuke coming in at that one point. So, like, she feels slightly indebted, almost to a point, to him, to where she's gonna, if she sees him again, even though he killed that one guy in front of her, and, all this different stuff, she's not gonna immediately try to kill him again. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be like that anymore, unless he, again, does something else.
So it looks like the highest spell levels you're going to get access to are 5th by the time the pre-campaign ends.
Yeah, I didn't look at any 6th level spells for that. And the only one I get for 6th level, I guess Lay Whip is Lay Whip is 6th level. Lay Whip.
And let's see. It looks like the twins are going to get access to 4th level at the highest.
That's really odd. Like, they're technically wizards, aren't they?
The alchemists gain them not as quickly, because the alchemists are sort of a fusion between a spellcaster and a sort of sub-rogue, in that they specialize in medium range bombs. So they, unlike a wizard, which is like all spells for the most part.
Yeah.
So they gain spells a little bit slower than your standard spellcasting class. I also think, if I recall, druids gain spells faster.
Dude, we gain spells like fucking
spellcasters.
that, but like I thought we gained at the same rate as wizards, is what I thought.
No, let's see. Let's compare it against some other spellcasts. Like let's compare them against the Bard.
Because I know that sorcerers don't gain nearly as fast, I don't think.
Bard gains... Warlock gains the slowest, because Warlocks, like, they have, like, by the end of like their... By the end of their entire lives, Warlocks have like 8 or 9 spells. But let's see. Bard at 10th level has access to up to 5th level. Cleric has at 10th level access up to 5th level as well. Druid, Fighter, Malefactor, Monk. Let's check Paladin. Let's see how Paladin reflects that. Paladin, but they only gain up to 5th level, period.
Yeah,
so,
I was gonna say Paladins aren't really that big of a spellcasting class.
Yeah, they get up to 3rd by 10th level. Ranger might be a good approximation, though I think they're the same in that they only get up to get up to 5th.
5th level.
Sorcerers gain by 10th level. They have up to 5th as well.
Okay.
So it seems like there's a standard curve here. Warlocks are a bit different because all their spell slots are the same level. Like they're always like maximum level. So if they cast a lower level spell with their spell slot, like the spell slot will always be 5th, but they get way fewer spells. Like by 10th level, warlocks have 2 spell slots, but both those spell slots are 5th level. They know 10 spells and have 4 cantrips. But they also have 5 invocations, which are essentially unlimited spells, but they're very particular. Then wizard. What does wizard have? Wizards 10th level. Yeah, 10th level, 2 5th level spells.
Yeah. So alchemists get it a little bit slower than actual wizards then.
Yes, but they also get the built-in bombs, which
is freaking good.
And they also they can do swift alchemy to like make items slightly cheaper and more efficiently, and then they get mutations that make them a bit physically more able. So they're like a mixture of a few different things.
So that's crazy, actually, now that I think about something. You said that both Carrie and Ian are going to get that mutation ability at level 11, right?
Yes, permanent mutation.
So, I mean, what's her excuse for this? She never uses her mutation.
It's because they've been exposed to chemicals in general, like things like drinking her extract that gives her haste, for example, exposes her to like magical chemicals. So it's just stuff like that.
Oh, and
like,
that's crazy too, because they're gonna get that. Like, if they do transfer, I mean, we're pretty much sure they're gonna transfer over to the next campaign if they live.
Yeah.
But they're gonna get their 11th level right as the war starts. Yeah. I guess. So they're gonna start out the war with these like mutations on them.
So during the time skip is when that's gonna happen. Yeah,
that's
the things that they
way instead of just waking up and they having it.
Yeah. They gain anaerobic respiration, which is basically they can breathe. They can hold their breath indefinitely and aren't affected by things that are like inhalation based and such. Extra limb, which can be an arm or a tentacle, which is what it sounds like. Keen senses, which is probably one of the more discreet ones, where they just kind of gain the like sight and scent of a predator, so they can see in the dark and have advantage on perception checks that rely on smell or hearing. Prehensile tongue or tail, where they get like a tail that can interact with things that weigh less than 5 pounds, touch allies or foes, and make dexterity sleight of hand checks.
Carrie wants that tongue.
And it can also allow them to dual wield a weapon that requires 2-handed wielding in one hand, because the extra tail can like also grip it and help, but it can't wield a weapon on its own. It also allows them to use 2 items on each of their turns instead of 1. Rigid horns, which is one of the gaudier ones, which is they get these like rock-like horns on their forehead that can make an extra melee attack every round that attempts to shove a creature as a bonus action, and it knocks them prone if they succeed. They gain suckers on their arms and feet that let them climb walls at 30 feet per round, and they have advantage on checks that are trying to disarm them. Toxified metabolism, where any interactions with poisons or whatnot, they have advantage on, or they're immune to poison and resistant to poison damage. Vestigial wings, they gain frayed, shunted wings that they can't fly, but they can glide.
It's falling with style.
They can increase their jump height up to 30 feet, and they can slow their descent up to 60 feet per round, 2 to 60 feet per round, to avoid taking fall damage, and they can land on their feet when they reach the surface. And webbed extremities. They get little membranes between their toes and their fingers, and it gives them a swim speed of 60 feet. Those are all the ones they have access to.
I'm just imagining too, just like it comes to a point where they summon their servant. Their servant comes out like, "My master have monsters." Like they just see like one with like a tentacle coming out of their back and the other one with like a prehensile tongue.
I mean, they're not wrong about the monster part, but that's besides the mutations.
But yes, like I was just asking those two, because they were the ones that were still here, if they had any plans for like what they would like to do in the future with their characters. And like 10th level seems to be like, again, I'm glad that things are kind of hit the climax at 10th level, because a lot of really cool things happen to a lot of classes at 10th level. Like 10th level, people get access to a lot of cool stuff. Again, like going back to my Leyline Adept and 5th level spells for a bunch of different like spellcasting things, things like that. So like, I am really glad that it ends there. I feel kind of bad for Ian and Isla because they don't get their mutations till 11th level. But I mean, I doubt Isla's wanting to use them much anyway.
Actually, I talked to Gary about it, and she thinks that Isla won't much. What was her opinions? Isla doesn't want any like creepy, scary mutations or anything, but she carries like. But if she just develops it, I as a player could choose one, and Isla just has to deal with it. So she's like, if I just get the horns, Isla will hate it, but I think it's cool.
She just wears a hat in the next campaign.
But what was I gonna say? In 3.5 it was more evident, but in 5e it still retains this thing where 10th level and higher gameplay is generally considered epic level gameplay. Like level 1 to 9 campaigns are characteristically different than 10 and above. Like at 10 and above, especially in 3.5, there was this old adage, save versus death, like where the idea is like everything that is like CR 10 and higher tends to have tricks that just straight up kill you unfairly.
Yeah.
Like you want to be able to always succeed at that point, because at 10th level and higher, everything is like deity level. Everything is so dangerous that death is almost assured if you don't know what you're doing, which is part of why throwing characters into a Holy Grail war at level, like anywhere below level 10 seems unfair, because servants could just be like, die, poke.
Yeah.
But at the same time, throwing characters immediately into a level 11 plus game is unfair to the players
without having the
they
game beforehand.
They don't know their
You're
characters
not used to the
very
characters.
well. There hasn't been an opportunity to acquire items, develop strategies or relationships. Like it's hollow feeling to start at that level because you don't feel like you earned your way to that point.
Yeah.
Which is why I insisted on this massive pregame, because like I've run Holy Grail war games quite a bit in the past, as you know. And a few times I've done it where there's been a pre-campaign. Though the one major time I did it, it wasn't as big. It was, I think, 3 or 4 games passed. I think I started everyone level 5 and like 3 or 4 games went by before the characters even knew there was a Holy Grail war going on. It was like a flashback in one of my games, and I convinced the players there wasn't even a war. But like, and then they got into it. But because they started to form these connections on the basis of I'm playing D&D and I want to have fun, before establishing the I want to win, what's my wish, I'm a character in Fate stuff, they enjoyed their character more because they had a character outside the context of being a master.
Yeah.
And it makes it more fun to have a character outside the war, because this isn't a complaint about your games.
It feels like this person had their own things before the war. Like their entire life did not revolve around I need this wish. You know, it was like they had their own lives beforehand. They had their own everything beforehand.
Yeah, something I noticed back in your old RPs, and it's not a complaint at all, but when we made characters, we made them for the Grail War. Like everything about them kind of culminated in the Grail War being this perfect intersection of events in their life that would like fix their problems or represented their problems. Which is
and a
fine.
big problem I saw with a lot of the players in my old games was that like everyone thought that like the Grail Wars were such a big deal.
Yeah.
Like in the concept of Type Moon, like they're an all right deal, but it's not like be all end all. Things continue onward.
They're something that has to be tended to, but they're not something that changes the world.
Yeah.
Like if any, like I always stick to the fact that Gilgamesh was always, spoilers, Gilgamesh was always doomed to fail, because if he wasn't doomed to fail, the world would have been like, Counter Guardians though? Like if he had actually posed a threat to the world at large, the world would have stopped him. But
it was interesting enough, because even if you take Gil without a Grail War happening, he was strong. He was no doubt he was strong. He was stronger than Medea. He was stronger than half the people involved with things. He was not connected to a master anymore. So even we can assume that Gilgamesh during Stay Night was still strong, probably weaker than he should have been.
I think Zero Gil was stronger than Stay Night.
Yeah,
Gil.
Zero Gil was way stronger. But when it comes straight down to it, there are people in the Type Moon universe, not a lot of people, not a ton of them, but there are people in the Type Moon universe Gil would not want to mess with. And he probably would. He probably would mess with them, and he would get his ass kicked.
Yeah, it's fuck, like,
servants are they're powerful. They're very powerful. They're not something that you have to worry everything about. Like, it's not too big of a problem for a group of people or one powerful creature, not even a mage, to go after Gil. There's a lot of problems with him.
When it comes to humans and mages, it is worth pointing out that the chances of one particular being, be it a human or a mage, defeating a servant is almost impossible. But as soon as you start to get numbers involved or creatures that go beyond the definition of human or mage, like, anything that's a vampire or demonic or has long since ceased being human for the sake of its magic, then you get into
that gap
the territory
shrinks considerably.
Yeah, I think it was Nasu at one point that pointed out that I think it was what if certain servants or certain high-ranking dead apostles fought each other, dead apostle ancestors, true ancestors, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his comment was it kind of stops being a numbers game at that point and starts becoming does this guy have the means to kill the other guy?
Yeah.
It becomes about, well, we're all kind of immortal in one way or another. Do I have a way to turn off your immortality for a couple seconds so I can kill you?
And in the concept of Gil, we could say he probably had something, but his something is always going to be tied to, well, first off, his mana source.
Yeah.
Any sort of he has more weaknesses than he has strengths at this point.
Yeah. It's just his strengths are really good strengths.
His strengths are really good strengths, but
that's what people forget about the weaknesses, because
any powerful true ancestor, dead apostle, anything like that, they could exploit these weaknesses.
Gil actually he actually intelligently addresses one of his own weaknesses. I don't think he does it intentionally, but one of his own weaknesses is being caught off guard or an enemy trying to clever their way around him. The fact that Gil always presents himself and forces opponents to take him head on by not allowing sneak attacks, is probably covering one of his biggest weaknesses. Because he always takes up a battlefield. He'll emerge in the middle of it, declare himself stronger than everybody else, put himself in a position that seems weak but at the same time imposing, and then everyone
basically
has no choice.
Everybody.
Yeah, and then everyone has no choice. That usually it results in people attacking directly, being I can take this guy down.
Because most servants are still pretty damn cocky.
If Zero Lancer, for example, whenever the fight had been going on, where Gil interrupted the stuff in Zero, if he had excused himself calmly and gotten out of Gil's attention, worked his way around and come at Gil from behind, probably could have killed him.
Yeah.
But because Gil's so imposing and is so no one moves, no one leaves my sight, it kind of disarms sneak attacks by taking away the intention.
And again, you've said it before too, but a competent assassin servant, one that wasn't on his side from the beginning, could still be a pretty good thing against, especially somebody like Gil, who is I am constantly miles away from my master.
Yeah.
I am constantly never protecting him.
I hate to abruptly take off, but the household wants to go for food, and I kind of am all about that.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
We're gonna be ending the post stream in a couple minutes anyway.
All right. It was fun hanging out for the time I did.
Logan, one day during the week I got a technical question about the game to ask. It can wait till midweek or whatever.
Okay.
It's not an emergency or anything.
All right. I will see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Later.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
But yes. Don't get robbed this time, Logan. Says
Jesus
Levy.
Christ.
It's really interesting to think about, because the biggest thing that me and Crow have differences about are power levels among everything in the Type Moon universe. But we do agree that yes, servants are extremely powerful, but they're not unbeatable. There are things. 7 masters versus 7 servants. That's a big deal. If you're involved in that. If you're not involved in that, taking on a master or a servant like Gilgamesh, it's just a matter of throwing enough magic at it. You throw enough mages at the problem, that problem ceases to exist. You throw enough dead apostles at that problem ceases to exist. You throw Gilgamesh, who does not even have a true master or a true mana source, against a really powerful true ancestor, I'm gonna give it to the true ancestor at this point. Like, they will just have
Honestly,
the ability.
in most scenarios, I would give it to a yeah. I would give it to a true ancestor in most scenarios, even with a good.
If Gilgamesh,
unless you have like
the big thing that hurts Gilgamesh in Stay Night especially after Zero is the fact he does not have a true mana source helping him.
Yeah.
If we were to throw Gilgamesh in Zero against a true ancestor, Gilgamesh is one of the best servants to fight against something like that. He has all of these relics of the past. They have all these different things, and again, they're just pure magic you're throwing at them, though. The biggest thing
he
people always get in,
he doesn't have the source.
Exactly. The biggest things people always get in is like, oh well, he could just summon a holy artifact or a holy weapon. No, he can't. He can't do that. He can't hurt things with holy energy because all the weapons and things he has in his gates are the originals. Everything he has are the original versions of these things. They don't have any lore behind them. They are not holy in nature. They are not anything like that.
We actually got into a I don't know how somehow it came up during my 24-hour stream the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got in a conversation talking about that with some of the people in the audience because someone was trying to argue. Basically, whenever they're arguing something about Gilgamesh, and their argument came down to, boom, he can summon a holy artifact. Boom, he can summon Excalibur. Like, yeah, but if he summons any of those things, it's the original. It doesn't have the lore. It doesn't have the legend that gives the weapon the power.
Even if he tried to summon
it's still
Excalibur,
it's still a powerful artifact. But yeah,
he summons
Excalibur.
He summons the original. He summons what's it called, Gram? Yeah. He summons the original sword before.
It's like Girahim or something like that.
Before anything with it, there is no legend behind it. He can't use gigantic anti-army Excalibur attack. He can't do that.
No, he can summon a very powerful item, but it doesn't have what makes the item special.
Yes, because everything, all of Noble Phantasms, they're strong. All of his Noble Phantasms, pure magic, pure power. They're strong. You can't deny that. But the only things in his arsenal that are actually truly powerful are his Enkidu, his youth potion, and of course, Anima Elish. Those are the three only things he has that have true lore behind them, that have extra effects beyond it. And he has a flying UFO.
He has a flying jet.
Giant fuck off UFO.
I don't know how that.
It's a throne. It's a throne.
You have thrown.
It's interesting, is what it is.
He has a throne and he just sits on it, and it just happens to fly because he's that much of a pen.
But yes, it's
the thing is what makes him powerful. Again, it's still mana sources, but he just overwhelms people with it.
Mm-hmm. And again, even with just the orphans, I hate saying just the orphans. I hate saying just the orphans. Like he has like 20 or so, like even more orphans feeding him magic constantly.
Yeah.
Like even just the orphans are enough to keep him like latched down there, and also the stuff that he had drank him from the Holy Grail latched him there, but. Even with all of that, he is not nearly powerful enough to call himself a true servant. At that point, Saber's able to beat him.
Yeah. I don't know if you've watched my series or not, but I made a joke about the orphans, and everybody just immediately is like, "Oh, it's a priest. It's a pedophilia joke." Because I made a joke about all the orphans disappearing around Kirei.
Oh, and they didn't know.
Yeah, and if one person out of I think there's 500, 1,000, and there's a crap ton of comments on the episode. That's one of my most popular episodes.
Mm-hmm.
No one fucking got it.
No one understood fate.
No one got it. He's fucking feeding orphans to Gilgamesh.
To be honest, I didn't actually know that.
And he kept a few for, and I mean, he might have kept a few for himself. I'm kidding. So
maybe, yeah. But I have the line because I wanted to come off really creepy.
Yeah.
But that's a joke that people think it's a pedo joke, whatever. But if you're a Fate fan, you're like, oh my god.
You expected people to get the other part of the joke too.
Yeah, I think there are a few. Again, have you ever seen any of my stuff?
I've seen the first episode, I believe. I haven't seen everything because I don't really watch a lot of abridged stuff anymore. Ever since I got out of it, I haven't really watched a lot of stuff like that.
Well, I'm always gonna put the offer. You're more than welcome to watch and give feedback.
Dude, we should watch it together sometime. You should get up a playlist and let me watch it with you.
Oh, I'm horrible, but I can't stand watching my own stuff.
Bruh, if I made stuff, I'd feel the same way.
But
I love watching my stuff.
Like every other line I have has some sort of weird, sneaky reference to Fate and Titan Moon. Not every other line, but like each episode is peppered with a few little references here and there.
Mm.
And it always makes me happy when someone gets it, because what's the sheath thing with Shiro, the scabbard?
Oh, that is Avalon.
Yeah, Avalon. That's correct me if I'm wrong, that's in Shiro, right?
That is in Shiro, yes.
That's what I like to make sure, because
it was put inside of him to stop him from being all "I'm dead" because of giant freaking fireball.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was making sure, because I don't know. I had in mind when I wrote the joke, and it made it to the episode and everything. It took almost a year before someone finally got it. Because he has this like long rant to Saber about how she can't call her, like, because in my version Saber keeps referring to herself as a dude sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And he has this long rant, and he goes, "You can't call yourself a man. Instead of a sword, you have a sheath." You know, just going on all of these euphemisms for dicks and vaginas.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I put sheath was because
he has a sheath.
Yeah. One person just like went, "Oh my god, I've watched this like 20 times. I just realized he can't be saying that to her, especially not with what he has in him."
It's crazy.
Like, it just made me very happy that someone got it.
That's one of the coolest things I think Zero did, was actually, show that first off, Avalon was the thing that was used to summon King Arthur, which I thought was really cool. He put Avalon inside of, because Avalon has been inside of so many people at this point. They put Avalon inside of Irie.
Giggity.
Give her a little bit of help through all of things that was happening to her.
Yeah, the mana boost.
Then went inside of, I think it went inside of Kiritsugu?
He took it into him when she died.
Yeah, so then Kiritsugu...
And then he gave it to Shiro.
And then he gave it to Shiro after the war. So it's like, this big thing where Shiro, if you really think about it, is like, his origin is swords. He is all swords. I am comprised of swords. That is his origin, yet he has a sheath inside of him protecting him.
Yeah. And I think it also gives up the...
It gives him like this big duality as far as his actual nature is concerned.
I also like it also solves... How did he summon Saber?
He summoned Saber. Okay, this is one of the coolest things that you know whenever you put everything together.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the same compound that Iris Feel had.
Mm-hmm.
Same
summoning circle.
She had made that summoning circle whenever she was there to protect herself and help herself.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever Shiro needed himself protected, that summoning circle, he was around, activated, responding to him as a master. Mm-hmm. And his own way to summon Saber was because he used the same catalyst. He used Avalon.
Yeah.
That is so... whenever you put everything together,
that's
it's
what I'm saying.
So cool.
It bothered me until I read Zero, and then I'm like, oh...
The only way that he could have done that was because of what happened. If Lancer had not have taken him there, he wouldn't have been a master. Because
I know
you still need a circle. You need a sort of circle, a sort of summoning catalyst. You need these two things. I mean, you don't technically need the catalyst, but in order to bring out a good servant, you need a catalyst. But otherwise the Grail just like randomly assigns you someone. It's kind of like whenever you don't have a lawyer, we will provide you with a lawyer.
Yeah.
But like it was just so interesting because all of that had to happen to get him to get Saber. And it's technically Iris Feel, his somewhat mama, protecting him. If Kiritsugu's his dad, I mean... And it's just so interesting. That's the biggest, that's like, having known everything about it is just so crazy. It chooses someone compatible with you. Yeah, that's true, Levy. It's not really random, but it's somebody that, on average, catalysts are better because you can kind of choose what you get, even if it's not in the same, like, shell you want it to be in. But then you could also, like, again, there's so many things mages can do to fuck with the summoning ritual that it's not even funny. They can bring the catalyst. They're like, okay, I'm gonna go get this stone from Hercules' shrine. I'm gonna put it down. But you know, instead of like summoning just Hercules, right? How about I summon Super Hercules? How about I make him fucking insane? And all of this that they did, making him a berserker and summoning Hercules, was ways that they as mages fucked with the summoning ritual. You can do all of that just by adding man enhancement. And they only did that so that Elia would have this servant. The only person who could have ever truly, like, controlled a berserker Hercules.
Which, again, it's still, like, the second worst thing you could summon Hercules as.
And I know! Like,
but
the
still
biggest
so
thing...
goddamn useful and powerful.
The biggest thing that I keep thinking is that maybe the summoning wouldn't have been truly successful. Like, maybe they didn't want that randomness with it. Maybe they didn't know if Elia could handle Hercules at his best, you know, as a demigod. But at the same time, like, they should have just left it be. If they would have just summoned Hercules as a saber or an archer, game over, man. Game fucking over right there. One of those summon him as a knight class, game over.
Because, I mean, like, Archer is ideally the way he summoned. But one of his fucking phantasms.
They must have thought that his own, like, ideals and his own, like, thoughts would have clashed with Elia and the family. Like, they needed to completely control this person.
Instead of him a beast.
And yeah, there could have been
basically
so many
to
other
avoid what happened with Siegfried and Apocrypha.
Mm-hmm. There could have been so many things you could have done for this, but all in all, they might have just feared his power.
Not gonna lie, that's one of my favorite elements of Apocrypha. Just Siegfried being like, you know, fuck you, man.
One of the coolest things I liked that they finally showed some sort of like scene for was actually Medea being summoned by her master, and then she abruptly killing him.
Oh yeah, the new one.
Yeah, like that was one of the coolest things I think they added to everything, because even though we knew about it and we knew like kind of everything about it, it was still cool seeing it.
Oh yeah, I agree. I was just talking about Apocrypha at the moment though.
I'm sorry, I jump back and forth everything.
Yeah, that's cool. How you like
Apocrypha's actually out now, right?
Last week. Yeah, it's on the 5th episode. The 6th one comes out tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything of it. And here's the big thing: Apocrypha is one of the big Fate series that I knew we were gonna get eventually. We were gonna get some sort of a release of some sort, like another game, or we were gonna get some other thing. I knew we were gonna get that, so I haven't actually looked up a lot of things with Apocrypha.
Yeah, like I read the first 3 volumes of them. Almost 3, because the person who was translating that I was reading just quit translating the 3rd one like halfway through or something.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Then they got a cease and desist or something. So after a certain point, I'm going to be going in there pretty fresh.
I wanted to go in as fresh as I could, but I haven't had time to go back and watch all the episodes yet.
I will say it's probably got, in my opinion, one of the more diverse servant classes. Like, not classes, but like the servants drawn are not some of the ones you would expect.
Mm-hmm. I haven't.
And of course, there's some that Time Moon does their little thing with, like, oh, we're gonna make this one into a little girl or a little boy or whatever.
Yeah, I only know a couple of the servants that get summoned.
Girl.
I only know a couple of the servants get summoned, but I'm really interested to see all of them. Because I wanted to keep myself fresh so that I could guess, you know, so that I could kind of... Do they tell you flat out who they are? Because I hate the fact that they did that in Zero.
They do. Okay, one team does.
Okay, if it's just like a couple of them, that's fine.
Yeah, it did, like, Siegfried's master's like, that's stupid. Why are we revealing our servants' names to each other?
Because, like, it's
like,
something that really pissed me off in Zero. Because I was still trying to guess them when that happened, and the only one at that point I could guess for was freaking Lancelot. And it sucked, because, like, I was watching this and I'm just like, you're just gonna, this is like episode 4 and all of you guys are just gonna say who you are, whatever, fuck. I was mad.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I was so mad.
You more or less know who everybody is. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Again, it's not.
I don't think
it didn't stop me from liking Zero.
There's one caster, one assassin. I don't think it's been revealed yet.
Okay, I'm gonna get my hat on, my theory cap whenever I watch that.
Yeah, like.
So another episode you thinking?
You're gonna. Yeah, I think the 6 episodes tomorrow.
Yes. Maybe I'll marathon it tonight or something.
I want to ask if you know about one of the main characters, but I don't want to ask at the same time.
I know who the priest is.
It's one of those things that... Oh, okay, that's what I was going to ask about.
Okay, I know who the priest is.
Because if you didn't know, I wanted to let you to tell me your reaction when you find out. The fuck is Shiro doing here?
Yeah,
I love the... Okay, so here's how I found out about Shiro being the priest. I was looking up stuff, I think, like, years ago, like, whenever they first, like, came out with, like, this canceled project they had. And I was looking up stuff, and, like, I was looking at, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go look at Archer stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at Archer stuff, and it had, like, at that point, the wiki for it that I was looking at had, like, all the forms of Archer, and I was just, like, clicking through them all, and it's, like, this one, like, edgelord, white-haired Shiro showed up, and I'm just like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
And so I looked at him like, oh, that's a really big, that's a jump.
Well, I mean, Apocrypha is supposed to be an alternate universe.
It's just so funny seeing that it's Shiro with the other of that group of rivals as kind of Dadu.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's happened.
And it's like how he would have grown up differently, and it's like, this is interesting. How come you're not getting fed to Gilgamesh right now? So I don't know everything about him, but I know who it is. Like, one of the biggest things I'm asking is, like, how come you're not getting fed to someone right now?
Probably because he's useful.
It's a lot more. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot more complicated than you think it is. Trust me.
I gotta get
Oh
involved.
boy!
As soon as I saw it, like, as soon as I saw it and, like, I saw what it was from and stuff, I stopped looking. So that's how you can kind of tell with me right now. Like, I don't know much of anything about Apocrypha except for things that were revealed around me that I had to not, like, look at. Like, I knew about Siegfried. I know about a lot of the servants from Apocrypha in Grand Order because I play Grand Order, and things like that. So, like, I'm trying my best not to spoil myself, but that probably means I should get on watching it.
You really should. Don't look up literally anything about Shiro, because when people find out what his deal is, their minds are gonna fucking blow up.
I can't wait, dude.
I want to find out so badly, but we got like 26 episodes.
But it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be great. We are at 8:54. We are over an hour into the post game stream, so I think this is a good time for us to end things off.
I don't get to talk about this stuff with people.
This always ends up getting into a Tight Moon chat, and I love it.
It's a Tight Moon game.
This always ends up getting into just like semi what I want to talk to with you, Doctor and Crow. But, you know, maybe if we just take all the moments from this and, like, just put them together in, like, a collaborative video, like, then it'd be like,
just stitch a couple reactions of Doc going, oh, ah. Love you, Doc.
And yes, Levy, Saber of Red is another person that I know of, so I do know of that person too.
Well, Saber Red, yeah.
I know of that person too.
Son, you know
if you don't know who Saber of Red is, like, honestly, you are a god of not getting spoiled. But anyway,
that's one of the greatest characters in Fate, in my opinion. I just love her.
But if you guys have any questions, comments, complaints, or wisecracks, throw them down in the comments below. We had pretty good times, I think, even though the two of you were mostly cooking and/or watching. I still feel like I need to get something of Eric's on Stonewalker so she can have her remembering. I need it. Now that I've noticed that I've taken something from all our dead friends, I need something else. I'm gonna like go back to like back to the big fight that we in that city and like look around for black key shards.
I still want to know what happened. Or Logan said those disappear.
Oh yeah,
I was asking if I could like tie someone, like change someone. I still want to know what happened to the fucking magic carpet.
I wish I could have grabbed that. That would have been great.
No,
But
because
yeah.
he said like he was going to translate it to something else. I'm like, what though?
I think like if you would have made the roll, maybe it was gonna be like something else. But I think honestly because
No,
you
I made
couldn't
the
find
roll.
your body, I think that's probably what happened.
Yeah, I'm just wondering like, because I'm still like, I'm guessing I'm dead.
We'll figure it out. I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I
This-
know
this
I'm
thing is
dead,
crazy.
so
Yeah.
I mean, can
Oh,
you
yeah.
really call what happened to you being dead? You kind of cease to exist in every way, shape, or form by using your soul as an attack.
I channeled the
Yeah.
powers of two gods. Fuck off.
But yes,
I will
if you guys
be
have any
surprised
questions,
if my
comments,
soul
complaints, or
split
wisecracks,
between them.
throw them down in the comments below.
Oh,
If you
and-
guys want to talk to me on a more regular basis, head over to the Discord, which is also linked below. We all have fun talking about the games, and even though they are not active right now in the games, depending on what happens with them or to them, they do still enjoy watching. I hope it's fun.
I do.
Yeah,
I like it.
I enjoy providing color commentary.
I just wish that I could play again.
Oh, before we end, can I whore out Eva's D&D stream that starts in 3 minutes?
Oh heck yeah, go ahead. If you have
Let's check
a
out,
link, if you have a link to it, do you want to post it in the chat? I think Emerald can post in the chat. So.
Be gone, thoughts.
It's a little rough because she's still kind of working out the kinks, but it's a My Hero Academia style D&D.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that last time.
Yeah, the first episode was fun. A bit disorganized. Fun.
Aren't you supposed to be in it?
I am in it. It starts in a few minutes.
Can you give?
I
the
I mean,
link
she
to Emerald
is
and Emerald
live
can-
right now,
can
so
you
I guess
give-
we're setting up for it.
Can you give the
Yes,
link to
set up.
Emerald and have Emerald post it in the chat?
Yeah.
I got a link.
Oh, okay. I was looking for him.
I've been working on it. Don't worry.
There we go.
Thank you.
Head over there to Latin Fire VA. She's gonna be starting up her stream in just a little bit. I think Aaron said something about maybe doing a game stream later in the night, but I think that's gonna be like 10
cool.
o'clock his time, so it's like 1 o'clock Eastern. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yes, I hope all of you guys enjoyed yourselves. This is we'll see what happens next week because I kind of want to spend
Yeah.
some time at the tree and talk to my tree friend and maybe release a demon. Who knows? But until next time,
Tree
guys,
Fin just to be like, oh my god, I'm hurting. I'm still burning, Batman.
I'm gonna let
And
that
then
demon
it's
go
a-
by. Dude, if Kieran,
Bye,
okay,
everybody.
this is the last thing I want to say. If they summon that freaking god, you better believe I'm gonna release that demon.
Yeah.
If
I
they
mean,
summon the
hey.
god, I'm gonna release that demon. I'm gonna be like, okay, no, I'm gonna make a deal with the devil here. I'm gonna have this demon come out and freaking fuck up this god.
Hell yeah.
Oh
just
no,
feel
it's probably
bad
gonna
that I-
backfire. Either way, guys, until next time, later days.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.